How you doing, boys and girls?
Hey!
We're the guys from the Wrestling Rundown, eh?
Yeah, I'm Travis Gold.
I'm Kevin Hawk.
And Thomas Wolf isn't here this week.
I know, he's doing something. He's working. He's exchanging money for goods at a store somewhere.
We miss you, Thomas.
I know, I cried. There's an empty spot. Pull yourself together, man.
But what are we doing? What are we doing, Kevin?
There's a thing, right? It's called a midweek.
Yes.
And we're gonna wrap it up.
Yeah.
We're gonna take all the contents of the midweek and wrap it up into one video of awesomeness and lightning speed results and thunder powerful voices.
Starting with the main event.
Absolutely. I'm not even gonna make a reference towards the joke that you make every week.
You know what? I mentioned it last week and nobody said anything. I didn't mention. I just said let's start with the main event. Nobody said anything last week. So, yes, we opened up main event with an entrance from Adam Rose and the Bunny. They would be on commentary.
Yeah, interesting matchup they'd be commentating. Slater Gator versus the Matadors.
Yes, honestly, the best part of this whole thing was Adam Rose and the Bunny on commentary. Because the Bunny didn't talk.
Let's get to be honest, the Rosebuds really got under the skin of Heath Slater and Titus O'Neil.
Yeah, he's like, what? You stop, will you quiet down? I'm trying to have a match here. And Adam was like, all right, calm down. You got all the Rosebuds to calm down. And, Byron's trying to ask the Bunny questions. And Adam was
tried to talk bunny language?
He's like, bunnies don't talk, Byron. Bunnies don't talk. And he's like, but he's got the headset on, and Bunny's just like sitting there, cross-legged in the chair. Yeah. Maybe it's CM Punk. But the match wouldn't last very long because the distraction from Adam Rose and the Rosebuds would lead to a crossbody onto Heath Slater. 1, 2, 3. Match is over. Matadors win.
Matadors win, and then they proceed to invite the entire Exotic Express onto the ring.
So you get the Rosebuds, you get Adam Rose, you get the Bunny, you get the Matadors, and you get Torito all dancing in the ring.
The Bunny can apparently break dance.
Yes, yeah, he was busting some moves out there in the ring.
And Torito just wiggling them hips.
Hey, Torito, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Shake what your mama gave you.
That was a weird thing to say to a little bull. Moving on, we have extra angry Mark Henry make his way down to the ring, and he has a handwritten, heartfelt statement that he needs to tell everyone, and he's angry at the fans.
Yeah, he's upset with the fans for pushing him into the rematch.
But not only that, he's upset that just because he didn't win, he's not their guy anymore. Yeah. Even though he tried his hardest to beat Rusev twice, wasn't able to do it, the fans are just going to disregard him. And that makes him disappointed in the fans. Now, the whole situation, Mark Henry's getting ready to leave the ring, but it would kind of be toned down by the arrival of the Big Show. Mm-hmm. Big Show, being Mark Henry's tag team partner in White Chocolate, would come out and say, okay, you know what? You did try your hardest.
You did.
And I still have your back. So, regardless of what happened with you, this Friday on SmackDown, I'm going to knock Rusev smooth the hell out.
One of the great things I got out of the Big Show portion of this promo, is his solidarity with Mark Henry.
Yeah, he didn't try to make it about him. He tried to make it about the camaraderie they have together.
Yeah, and he said that if they're going to boo you, I'm sticking by you. They're going to boo me as well.
That was really cool. Like, it was very, Big Show being a very passionate guy. I've met the Big Show. He's a very nice man. Absolutely hilarious. To have him do that moment...
Big Show really mirrors his actual personality.
Absolutely. Like, the guy you're seeing on TV right now is exactly Big Show in real life. And so we kind of get that, we get the solidarity, Mark Henry kind of calms down. But I thought, okay, Mark Henry's talking about how, the losers kind of get pushed by the wayside, even though they try real hard. Could this be the potential of the heel turn from Mark Henry and the building of the new nation?
I'm not sure, because it seems like they've been trying to keep the new nation separated for a long time. And, maybe if something happens and we see another, maybe we'll get something more on that later in the week.
Yeah, we'll have to see where the Rusev storyline and the potential Mark Henry turn goes from here.
And we haven't seen Big E, Kofi, or Xavier Woods on TV this week yet.
Yes,
from what we've said,
this is true.
So if they show up later, we'll see what happens between them.
Absolutely.
And one of them does show up later.
All of them show up later.
Yeah, well, I mean.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right. We'll get there in a second. But first, we had Paige versus Naomi with AJ out of commentary. This match was awesome.
I thought it was a perfect example of Paige being off her game at the fact that she's distraught over having lost the Divas title.
Yes.
Naomi ran circles around her for a while.
Yes, and Naomi was on fire. She looked great. I'm so excited she could rise up from that shitty match she had with Cameron last week and move on to have this phenomenal match with Paige on main event of all shows.
Yeah, it was a match that was on tier with the AJ Nikki match on Raw and the triple threat match they had at the pay-per-view.
The Divas are on a roll right now. And
keep rolling.
Good on you, ladies.
You know why? Because they haven't had Cameron wrestle this week yet.
Thank you, WWE.
You're saving our lives.
This is why I'm subscribing to the network. For the low, low price of $9.99.
What?
Yeah.
I thought it was the low, low price of Gundog Peacock.
Towards the beginning of this match, Paige would scream at AJ. And AJ would go, "Oh, hi there." that was directed at me. I feel special now.
If you couldn't tell, I was using my sarcastic voice.
Yeah, that was my sarcastic voice. Sounds very much like my regular voice. So great stuff from AJ on commentary. Acting very, very quirky as she is. Paige would win, getting the leverage pin on, putting her feet up on the ropes. But then AJ just drops the headset, gets in, and attacks Paige, and Paige is just left looking embarrassed.
Yeah.
Like she gets drilled with the Divas title. Even though she won the match, she's the one left laying on the mat.
Yeah, so more tension building up between AJ and Paige. Just when you thought that maybe they're going to start to deflate or that they've kind of hit a climax, somehow AJ just manages to get in the ring, whack Paige with the title, and basically add even another level of embarrassment.
So now you've got distraught Paige being embarrassed. She got knocked down by the thing that she lost 2 nights prior at Night of Champions. So she's
sad panda right now.
She's not having a good week.
She's a sad panda right now. Be real.
Yeah. Kevin Hawk will make you feel better. And AJ, if you want to call buddy.
She's got one.
Damn it. We're going to move on to Kofi Kingston.
Hey!
A member
it's almost like I knew that was going to happen.
Yeah, a member of the potential new nation taking on Bo Dallas. Bo Dallas starting the match with a promo going, "Kofi, it's so nice to see you. I didn't realize you still worked here."
Yeah, Kofi didn't take too kindly to the words, though. He was very aggressive during the match.
Yeah, Kofi kicked the shit out of Bo Dallas.
It's this new Kofi with attitude that we saw when he started teaming with Big E Langston.
Yes.
He's got the same... He's a little bit more leaned back towards the whole positive, happy, smiley Kofi that plays to the crowd.
Yeah.
But he still has a new aggressiveness in his style.
Yes.
That's playing really well with his matches nowadays.
Yeah. And based off of my feelings from the Mark Henry promo earlier, I thought this was actually going to be a loss for Kofi Kingston to help build towards a new nation.
Yeah.
But Kofi Kingston would hit the Trouble in Paradise and beat Bo Dallas, adding another loss to the Bo Dallas losing streak.
Yeah.
It wasn't a very long match.
No.
But it was fun.
It was well done.
Yeah. Bo Dallas playing the what's happening, and Kofi getting the win actually made me happy.
Yeah.
Because Kofi hasn't really been getting that spotlight much lately. So here's hoping that continues.
There hasn't been a lot of battle royals going around
at
the time being.
Yeah. Well, we can always hope for another battle royal, right?
Soon. One day.
Yeah. And then we'd end the night with Miz TV featuring Dean Ambrose.
Oh, I'm back involved again.
But first, we had the epic freakout from The Miz, who is just losing his mind that he lost the Intercontinental title the night before.
Mm-hmm.
With Mizdow doing the exact same motions, not saying anything, but like mimicking everything the Miz does. You know, pointing.
It's so fun to watch. The fact that he's initially came in as the
He's
stunt.
out-Mizzing Miz.
He initially came in as the stunt double, and now he's the shadow of the Miz.
Yeah.
He is literally
Miz's shadow is a beard.
yeah. Miz's shadow is manlier than the Miz.
he's not as Hollywood groomed as the Miz is.
Yeah.
But
it's close. The beard is in these days.
This is true. But Miz would calm down and he goes, all right, this is Miz TV, and I want to welcome everyone. Everyone here is my guest, the Lunatic Fringe, Dean Ambrose. Miz starts, poking fun at Ambrose, re-showing the curb stomp through the cinder blocks a month ago. Ambrose says the Authority has picked a fight that they can't win because even though they drove his head through cinder blocks, he's still not down. He's back and he's gunning for the Authority.
Basically saying he's going to be the Energizer Bunny of destruction.
Yeah.
Basically saying no matter what you do, it might take a month, it could take a year, but I'm going to come back and I'm going to get you guys.
Yeah. So, Seth Rollins, you done fucked up.
The threat.
But then Miz is curious. Miz wants to know, okay, we saw the Authority throw you into that room where the security had you locked in that room, but somehow you appeared under that table. How'd you get out? I gotta know. How'd you do it?
There was a back door. I went out the back door.
That's it? There's a back door?
Sorry if I disappointed you.
Yeah, sorry if you feel cheated.
Yeah.
Then Miz would start to freak the fuck out again because he feels like he was cheated by Dolph Ziggler. He'd start running his mouth, and Dean Ambrose got a little fed up with it and would headbutt the Miz, knocking him out.
I always use the advice from the Paul Blart Mall Cop movie. Nobody wins with a headbutt. Dean Ambrose wins with a headbutt.
You know why? Because he's Dean Ambrose.
Yes, he won a headbutt competition with a pile of cinder blocks. So
yeah. No
I
shit.
mean, he's still standing. Those cinder blocks are probably still powder.
Yeah. So, yeah. Miz gets knocked out. Mizdow gets beat the hell out. And then Dean Ambrose sets Miz back up in his chair, puts his sunglasses on, has him hold the microphone, and goes, "Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, this has been Miz TV!" And we close out main event with knocked out Miz in the chair, and Dean Ambrose standing tall. This was the best episode of Miz TV ever. Like,
I agree.
I have never had this much fun watching Miz TV before.
Yeah, the combination of the beatdown from Ambrose and the mimicry from Mizdow.
Yeah, it just entertainment all the way through. Starting
Even
off,
Miz's little bitch fit.
Yeah, because his freakouts on Dolph Ziggler were pretty good too. So moving on from main event, Mr. Kevin Hahn watched Superstars this week.
Yeah, Superstars, the usual recap show, but with a few matches thrown in.
Yeah.
Match number 1 that actually opened the show was Naomi versus Alicia Fox.
Ooh.
I was really excited to see Naomi after her match with Paige on main event. Because it was an amazing match. So I was like, oh, Naomi's coming back out for another match. This is going to be awesome because she had a great showing the night before.
Yeah.
Alicia Fox comes out. I go, okay, Alicia Fox, not my favorite, but a solid wrestler. Great. They seem to have really good chemistry with each other. And they had a really good dynamic of Naomi, normal, human being. Alicia Fox was
Not
playing.
so much.
Alicia Fox was playing her crazy usual self, and spent
The Alicia Fox, the 5-head we love and know.
Or the 5-head I'd love to know.
Whatever floats your boat.
Yeah. A lot of times while Alicia Fox had the advantage during the match, she would be laughing maniacally, talking to herself. At one point, she got down on all fours and growled at Naomi like a cat. It was a bizarro...
She has lost her goddamn mind.
A bizarro situation, but Naomi would get the win with that cool new submission hold she does.
Yeah. Good on you, Naomi. Keep doing that. That's an awesome move.
Yeah, it looked really painful.
It's the only thing that made Cameron look good.
Because when she did it, the last time we saw her do it, she didn't get the leg in time.
Until the end. Then she ended
right
up
when she tapped out, she put the leg up.
Yeah.
This go around, she smushed Alicia Fox's face with her leg.
You know why? Because despite how crazy she is, Alicia Fox is better than Cameron.
Absolutely. And then we had all the recap bull crap that I fast forwarded through.
Blech.
It was just everything that happened on Raw, basically.
Which we just talked about. If you want to know what happened on Raw, that side.
It's gonna be the top one.
Don't. If I point over here, don't follow my direction at all.
He's directionally challenged.
I don't know which side is which on YouTube.
Yeah. And then we ended the show with more recaps. But before the recaps of the two big matches they had in Raw, we had Justin Gabriel one-on-one with Kofi Kingston.
Ooh, another Kofi Kingston match.
Yes, another Kofi Kingston match, another appearance from Justin Gabriel, who we've been seeing more during the midweek shows recently.
Which will be coming up.
He had a big run with Sin Cara on Superstars as of late, three weeks in a row. He's been on NXT recently.
Yeah, he went against Kentel last week.
Yeah, so I mean, we're seeing a lot more of Justin Gabriel than we're used to.
Yes.
Good match, a lot of chemistry. These guys were pushing themselves so hard at the end of their exchanges. They were sweating and breathing hard.
That's when you know they're working hard.
They're pushing each other to their limits in this match. It was really, really fun to watch. And then I believe the end came out of Justin Gabriel trying to leapfrog over Kofi Kingston from the corner, the running and then catching yourself on the corner and leapfrogging backwards over your opponent. Kofi Kingston would jump up in the air while Justin Gabriel was doing this and hit him with Trouble in Paradise.
Why didn't I watch Superstars?
I don't know.
I am going to watch Superstars when we're done recording this, apparently.
Yeah, Justin Gabriel collapsed in an unconscious heap on top of Kofi Kingston's legs. Kofi Kingston shoves him over, gets the 1-2-3, winning the match of the first ever two African-born WWE superstars, proving his African dominance. I don't know.
That's 2 wins for Kofi in a week.
2 wins for Kofi on back-to-back shows.
Congratulations, Kofi Kingston.
Absolutely. And we got a lot of stupid recaps for main event. Superstars. On Superstars. A lot of dumb recaps from Raw. So I was done with Superstars, and I was super excited for NXT.
Yes, moving on to NXT. Everyone's favorite show.
Always
it's the
excited.
reason you subscribe for $9.99 to the WWE Network.
It's the reason why I don't punch people.
And we opened up with probably the best way to appease Kevin Hawk. We had the burial of Mojo Rawley.
I was getting ready to punch somebody, and then this match happened.
Go and talk about the burial of Mojo Rawley.
A rematch from their TakeOver Fatal 4-Way match. Mojo Rawley came out House of Fire this go-round.
Yeah.
He was definitely the aggressor during this match. He kind of it seemed like he was more ready for Bull Dempsey this go-round.
Yeah.
Maybe had a little bit more Bull Dempsey style scouted, but Mojo would have a slip-up, and on a rebound from the ropes, Bull Dempsey would run him over, setting him up for the diving headbutt for the 1-2-3, and Bull Dempsey, as he's leaving, says, "You know what, Mojo? You want more? I've got more. This isn't everything I have. You know, if you're going to keep coming, I'm going to keep knocking you down."
I find it interesting that he didn't win with the snowplow or the bulldozer at
TakeOver too.
TakeOver.
He's been using the diving headbutt now.
That's a scary move for a dude that size to be doing.
Yeah, and he does it fairly well.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Good on you. Mojo Rawley gets buried again.
But it's not over yet because Mojo would be making his way up the ramp while Tyler Breeze is on his way down to the ramp. He made
the mistake of touching Tyler Breeze's arm.
Yeah, and Tyler Breeze didn't take too kindly to that. He would grab Mojo, throw him into the post, beat him down on the outside, and we get Mojo just laying in a heap.
Yeah.
And
Tyler Breeze looking over him.
Yeah, fired up Tyler Breeze.
It was the first time we've seen Tyler Breeze since TakeOver. He wasn't on the following.
This is true. So he's already got a little bit of angst in him because he didn't win the NXT Championship.
We cut to commercial and we come back and we find out that he's facing Justin Gabriel.
But before that, we had a really cool Baron Corbin vignette, very very Sin City-esque.
Sin City meets Sons of Anarchy.
Yeah, it was very cool. Got to hear him talk. Kind of got
the first time you see some expression.
Yeah, a little look into the mindset that is Baron Corbin. I'm really interested to see more of this guy, especially if he's going to be squashing CJ Parker every week.
I hope he squashes Mojo Rawley next week.
That could be the plan.
That would be awesome.
But, speaking of Mojo Rawley, he's gotten beaten up. We got Tyler Breeze in the ring, and he is facing Justin Gabriel.
Yeah, absolutely.
Justin Gabriel was definitely more on the offensive in this match.
Yeah, Justin Gabriel, it's very much the Page syndrome that I was referring to earlier in the week on Main Event. Tyler Breeze, very distraught that he didn't win the big one at TakeOver, wasn't on his A game.
No.
Gabriel was able to take advantage early in the match, deliver blow after blow and drop after drop onto Breeze's face.
Which is not where you hit Prince Pretty.
Yeah, but, unlike his normal self, he wasn't freaking out at getting hit in the face. He wasn't...
he was more so just kind of taking the punishment.
Yeah, he took a lot of punishment. Gabriel would end up backing him into a corner for a spot. When Gabriel comes in for his move, he gets hit with a supermodel kick, takes a couple steps back, and gets hit with the beauty shot.
Which is... I love this combo, because I love Tyler Breeze. Tyler Breeze is awesome. I'm not a fan of the beauty shot. I don't think a spinning heel kick should be a finisher, but being stalled by a super kick into a spinning wheel kick, that's a finisher.
Yeah.
I dug that a lot.
Breeze gets the 1-2-3. Breeze looking all right. I mean, he didn't look fantastic during the match, but so I'm curious to see. The crowd was really behind Breeze during this match. So we might be seeing sort of a leaf turning for Tyler Breeze here. The fans are starting to get behind him. I think sympathetic of the fact he didn't win.
Yeah. Well, and he's really proving himself. And the NXT crowd isn't a normal WWE crowd.
Yeah.
They're very independent wrestling kind of crowd. Where
yeah, and when you think about the fact they're very independent indie wrestling style of a crowd, you have Tyson Kidd. If you look at the TakeOver guys who were in the main event of TakeOver, you had the Tyson Kidd. Everyone knows him from the main roster. You have Sami Zayn. Everyone knows him as El Generico. You have Adrian Neville. Everyone knows him as Pac. Tyler Breeze is really the guy who I think a lot of the crowd members feels he had to prove himself the most.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't come from that upper echelon
Yeah,
of everyone knowing these guys. A few people know he's a trainee of Lance Storm, which already puts him a step above a lot of people. But, everyone's thinking, oh, well, here's the WWE guy out of the Heart and the European indie guy and the, US-Canada indie guy.
Yeah. Yeah, and we even mentioned it when we were talking about TakeOver too, is that out of that Fatal 4-Way match, Tyler Breeze was the one that had the most to prove, and he was, bar none, right up there with the other three guys in the match.
Absolutely.
Now, speaking of contenders in that match and not winning the NXT Championship, we would have Natty talking to William Regal in the back and trying, begging William Regal to give Tyson one more shot at Adrian Neville for the NXT Championship. Regal was a little, he didn't feel like Tyson deserved it. Tyson didn't win it. Tyson hasn't won a couple of matches. Tyson, hasn't been the most respectful, but William Regal ultimately tells Natty, okay, I'll give Tyson one more shot, but if he can't beat Adrian Neville, he will never get a shot at the NXT Championship while Neville is champion.
Well, I'm curious to know if it sounds like, or if they're gonna do what it sounds like he's gonna do, because his phrasing on it was he'll never get another match with Adrian Neville as long as Neville is the champion.
Oh.
So I'm thinking maybe they're feeling the crowd might starting to get burnt out on the Tyson Kidd Adrian Neville matches. So we
could be seeing Tyson Kidd be put up on the main roster again, or
maybe back on the main roster, or starting a new feud with somebody else.
We'll have to wait and see what happens.
Absolutely.
There. Moving on, I'm gonna let you take this one. We had Bayley versus Alexa Bliss.
Yes, these two you can consider them the darlings of the NXT Divas division. the crowd loves both of them.
Yes.
Bailey a little bit more than Alexa Bliss, or a lot of bit more.
Bailey's proved herself a little bit more
And she's
than Alexa
way
Bliss.
more established.
Absolutely. Alexa Bliss is the next. She's the next crop of divas coming up.
Yeah. It was a clinic.
Absolutely.
The match was a clinic. It was almost every bit as good as the Charlotte Bailey match from TakeOver. They had really, really good chemistry for being the first time we've seen them wrestle on TV. And everything went really smooth and perfect. They had a lot of really good exchanges. A lot of stuff utilizing Alexa Bliss's high-flying and lucha-inspired abilities.
Yes.
Her background as a gymnast.
Yeah, she does really well.
I didn't like her new theme song. Side note.
I was indifferent to it. I didn't hate it.
And the match went really well, really smoothly. The crowd was totally into it until the finish.
Yeah.
Bliss would go for a standing moonsault
Mm-hmm.
and miss. She'd land on her feet.
Because she saw Bailey was rolling out of the way and she'd land on her feet.
But she just stood there.
Yeah, she didn't really act on the fact that she was still kind of in control. She didn't take a step towards Bailey. Bailey actually had to walk towards her, grab her for the belly to Bailey, and didn't really deliver much of a belly to Bailey.
Yeah, not a lot of momentum going into it, And I think that's almost kind of a rookie mistake.
Yeah.
From Bliss's part. Because it was weird watching she lands on her feet from missing the moonsault and just stands there.
Yeah, that's
not something that happens, It's like you miss a finish or, you miss your big spot and generally you're either getting out of the way or trying to get back on the offensive.
Yeah, and if you had the wherewithal to land out of that moonsault because you knew they were moving, you should still be on the attack.
Yeah, so I'm not quite sure, what happened there. Just a little bit of a slip up. Doesn't happen that often.
Yeah.
Especially with the NXT people.
And it wasn't a big blemish to ruin the fact that the match was great.
Yeah, the match was still fantastic. Bailey picks up the win, the belly to Bailey hugplex, and back to what's been her motif ever since she lost to Charlotte at TakeOver 2 is I want a rematch.
Yes. She would say there was no build up to it. She was just like, she grabbed the microphone and she goes, "Charlotte, get out here right now." And Charlotte would do that. She'd get in the ring and Bailey goes, "You know what? I've told you this before. My mom was in the crowd at TakeOver Fatal 4-Way. I let all these people down. I let my mom down. I let my friends down. Give me one more chance to beat you for that women's championship."
Charlotte's response, I thought was awesome.
Yes.
Because
absolutely.
she said, "You know what? You didn't let me down.
Yes.
You proved yourself to me and earned my respect. And that I would be glad to give you another shot, but the results are going to be the same.
Yes.
Don't expect to win this go-around. You couldn't beat me before, you ain't going to beat me again." It's interesting. And then she finished with "See you next week."
Yes.
So are we going to see that Divas title match next week? I'm really hoping so.
I'm hoping so too. I mean, I don't really see. I feel like maybe if we do get the rematch next week, actually, even if we don't get the rematch next week, I feel like Sasha is going to enter.
Yeah,
when
the rematch happens, Sasha's going to interject.
Yeah,
there's going to be something.
It'll be probably a screwy finish due to Sasha Banks, which I think I'm looking forward to the potential triple threat out of those two ladies.
I'm hoping. I'm keeping my fingers crossed. I mean, I know the next TakeOver is a little ways away.
Yeah, I believe it's going to be in December.
Yeah, but people can wish.
Yeah. Up next, we had our first introduction to Carmella, beginning her training with Enzo and Cass. Enzo and Cass taking her to their gym. Enzo not exactly treating her
respectfully.
with the most respect. And look at you. You don't even look at you. You show up in sweatpants and a hoodie, and you don't even look that good. You got if you want to be good, you got to look good. And he gets on the treadmill. So, starts running, and Cass is like, "Dude, you don't gotta run her down like that."
That's not how you get girls.
Yeah, that's not how you get girls. Like, "Hey, that's how I get girls. How you doing?" But then we'd get a little pan over, and Carmella is hot.
How you doing?
How you doing? She's got little yoga shorts going on. She's got the sports bra. She's doing stretches, and
Enzo gets distracted.
well, Cass was distracted and was like totally focused on her, and then Enzo happens to turn around while he's on the treadmill. You dumbass.
Well, she cranked up to like high speed.
Yeah, he's getting a good jog going. He turns around, sees Carmella, slips, almost kicks Carmella in the head.
Yeah, she's still bent over to the side from while stretching, and his foot flies up in the air, and he goes off the treadmill and goes right past her head.
Yeah.
Man.
And so not the most, not the greatest moment for Enzo. Looking a little...
I think we may have found Enzo's weakness.
Carmella.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm definitely interested to see more of the training videos for Carmella. Not only because she's hot, but because Enzo and Cass, their comedy really lends itself to the whole storyline.
Yeah, and that would lead into a match involving Enzo Amore, along with his buddy Big Cass, against the newly balded Marcus the Lisping Demon Face Louis.
His versus screen is the scariest thing I've ever seen.
Terrifying picture.
This puts
with his
anything
hairy ass buddy, Sylvester Lafore.
This was originally supposed to be the tag team match between Enzo and Cass versus the Legionnaires. But as explained by commentary through Jason Albert and I believe Renee Young, Sylvester Lafore actually removed himself from the match to ensure that his hair would stay, because he is still in need of being shaved bald.
Yeah, he lost the hair versus hair match.
Yeah. So Marcus took his punishment, but you know that Enzo and Cass haven't forgotten about Sylvester Lafore.
And Sylvester Lafore is not about to let that hair go without a fight.
Absolutely.
It's magnificent.
Enzo versus Marcus Louis.
Marcus Louis came out with a wig.
Yeah, very a la Kurt Angle.
Yeah, a wig with the wrestling headgear. Exactly like Kurt Angle.
Yeah, just slightly different
taller
color.
version of Kurt Angle.
Yeah, This was more so a very, very comedy match. Marcus Louis was very dominant through it.
Very aggressive, but I would be too if I just got a bunch of toxic pie filling stuffed on my head and my hair sloughed off.
Yeah, can you imagine if this head of hair got shaved off? He'd be mad. It's a lot of hair.
Yeah.
But at one point, after a big move, Marcus Louis would make the mistake of loosening the strap of the headgear under his chin.
Yeah, Enzo was on the outside, and he starts reaching over to grab Enzo. Enzo goes to pull the hangman move.
And ends up pulling the entire headpiece with him, revealing the very bald, no-eyebrowed Marcus Louis, and he is shocked, and he doesn't know what to do, and he begins to reach down for his wig. Enzo gets him with the roll-up, 1, 2, 3. Enzo Amore beats Marcus Louis.
Him and Cass take off.
Marcus Louis begins screeching and looking even more demonic in the middle of the ring while Sylvester Lafore is trying to calm him down.
He becomes incensed.
Yeah, he is.
And I'm hoping maybe that we're gonna get a new kind of demeanor from him, and when we eventually get that Legionnaires versus Enzo and Cass tag match, that we'll have that new super angry, aggressive Marcus Louis who can hold his own against Big Cass.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to when we get that tag team match, and if we ever get to see Sylvester Lafore shaved bald.
Yeah.
Just before our main event, which is a rematch for the tag team championships, we get Sami Zayn weighing in on the fact that Tyson Kidd is getting one more title shot, and Sami Zayn doesn't really care. He just knows that either way, Tyson's not going to win. It's going to be Sammy who takes the title off of Adrian Neville.
Yeah. He said, you know what, I really don't care who wins the match. I don't care about the match per se, but it doesn't, because none of it relates to the fact that no matter what happens, I'm gunning for the belt.
Yeah.
The belt is going to be mine.
And I definitely believe Sami Zayn.
Yeah.
But speaking of championships, we have a rematch between the former NXT champions, The Ascension, getting their rematch against the Lucha Dragons, Sin Cara and Kalisto, for the NXT Tag Team Championships.
Connor and Victor way more prepared this go around for
Yes.
the Lucha styling.
Very good showing for both teams. There was a sense of urgency each time an opponent was down. They were going for a pinfall. They were really trying to end the match quick. Both teams.
Yeah.
There was desperation from the Lucha Dragons wanting to hold on to those titles, while the Ascension were very adamant about trying to take them back. Some great physicality from the Ascension. Some awesome high flying spots that we had.
I always love the wheelbarrow into the senton.
That is a great double team move, and I am so excited to see more of what Kalisto and Sin Cara can come up with, because they're both super agile, and with the fact that Sin Cara is as strong as he is,
Yes.
he can toss Kalisto around, and they can do all kinds of fun stuff.
Yeah, well, it's just that, the first time we saw that, the one-armed powerbomb that he does.
Yeah,
He does that roll into the one-armed powerbomb. Fantastic.
Absolutely. But ultimately, we get the end where I believe the Ascension were kind of pulling some shady tactics.
And they were starting to get the upper hand on the Lucha Dragons.
And we get a distraction provided by Hideo Itami.
Yes, a guy who's been on the hit list of the Ascension ever since he embarrassed them at TakeOver 2.
Yes. So Hideo Itami would make his way down to the ring, would distract the Ascension long enough for the Lucha Dragons to pick up the win and retain the Tag Team Championships.
Callisto would hit that Selena Del Sol,
Yes.
get the 1-2-3, and, Lucha Dragons as popular as ever, and Hideo Itami, 2 weeks in a row now, making his impact, 3 weeks in a row now, making his impact on NXT.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see where the Lucha Dragons go from here. Maybe a return from the Vaudevillains. Potentially the Mechanics coming back and playing a new heel tag team against the brand new babyface tag team champions on NXT.
Yeah, and
Hideo Itami moving on with the Ascension should be interesting.
yeah, Hideo Itami, Kenta, great wrestler, awesome, super tough, but I don't know if he has what it takes to face the Ascension on his own.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting to see if he picks up a partner, and especially a worthy partner, to have his back, someone who can help him take out the Ascension.
Yeah. There's plenty of other indie guys that he's worked with could be making their way up. We actually got the word that Prince Devitt, Fergal Devitt, will officially be going under the name of Finn Balor, which is the name he actually got to pick. Is the god of war or death. It's a couple different legends from Irish and European folklore that he put the names together. I think it's really cool that...
What was the king of death?
Maybe.
Something.
It's God or king, something like that. I really like that they're giving these well-known indie guys the chance to, let people know what their new name is, rather than,
Yeah.
hey, this is, you know him as Devitt, but we're going to give you him as this.
Yeah. Well, for me, it was like when they did it with Bryan Danielson, and everyone was like, "Oh, Bryan Danielson's going to be on the first season of NXT," and when he shows up,
My name is Daniel Bryan.
Yeah, and they're like, boo.
You know who actually came up with that name? William Regal.
Yeah. Not one of Regal's better decisions, in my opinion.
Better than Buddy Peacock.
Yeah. Better than Gundog Peacock.
Mm-mm.
No?
No.
Gundog Peacock would be the world champion still.
Yeah. You know what? I'm gonna
write Daniel Bryan and tell him to change his name to Gundog Peacock.
I'm gonna say, you know what? You should go back to that list of names you had. You should become Gundog Peacock.
Yeah. Same thing when they brought Pac in. They're like, oh, here's our new guy, Adrian Neville.
Yeah.
That kind of thing is like...
I don't know how much of a... Like, him and I don't think Sami Zayn really got much of a...
Yeah. That's sort of a play off of his real name, though.
Oh, okay.
Very much the same way that Daniel Bryan is a playoff of Bryan Danielson.
Gotcha.
But I like, with the Hideo Itami, Kenta gets to come out and say, hey, I'm changing my name to be after one of my favorite people, so I'm going to change my name to Hideo Itami. Devitt saying, oh, I get to change my name, I'm picking Finn Balor. And I'm really hoping this trend of guys getting to pick their names, especially the super established indie guys who are coming in, and I'm really hoping Kevin Steen gets to do the same thing, because I'm looking forward to the in-ring debut of Stephen Keane.
You might pop the hardest you've ever popped if he comes out as Stephen Keane.
My head would blow up.
You can't,
and implode at the same time.
You can't be over here when that happens because I don't want to clean that up.
Figure it out though. Explode and implode simultaneously.
That's it for the midweek wrap up. The only real note from TNA is they had a Gold Rush tournament that I believe Austin Aries ended up winning, and I don't know what it was for. Maybe if
the Gold Rush tournament is for a championship match of your choice. It can be any title at any time.
Oh, good for you, Austin Aries. I wonder what you'll pick.
Probably the TNA World Championship.
Probably.
At the next
Which
pay-per-view.
is held by Lashley.
Yes.
But that is officially it for the midweek wrap up. If you want to go back to the Indie News or the Raw Review, click the videos to the
right
of
your screen.
Your right, Kevin Hawk's left. But up next, we'll be moving on to the SmackDown Rundown. We got Thomas's top 5 coming up. Obviously, Thomas is not here, but we will be discussing his top 5.
He sent it to us on Facebook.
Yes, he did. Which you can check us out at facebook.com/The Wrestling Rundown.
We have a Facebook page now.
We have a Facebook page. You can check us out on Tumblr.
We have a Tumblr.
The-wrestling-rundown.tumblr.com. You can...
Do we have an Instagram?
We don't have an Instagram yet.
Alright, we're thinking about an Instagram though.
Might be interesting. Do
It's
you
possible.
want us to have an Instagram? Post comments down in...
Comments.
Underneath us.
My hand is in the comments.
I
now.
know where the comments are. I don't know what...
I'm
I don't
touching
know.
the comments box right now.
That's weird.
I know, it feels funny.
I don't think the comments appreciate that. Yeah. But check out the playlist. Point.
It's a cool looking playlist.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Alright. Post some stuff down in the comments. Like, favorite, subscribe, find us on Facebook, and we will see you at the SmackDown Rundown.